Next question up. Let's go ahead and handle it like we know how. First thing we do is read the question sentence. How much time remains in his shift? Okay, cool. Sounds good. So from here, it looks like what we're saying is we're talking about somebody who's on shift, and we want to know how much time is left on their shift. So if you're thinking, hey, we might be subtracting here. Yeah, you're absolutely right. If we're trying to see how much time is left, yes, we will be subtracting. So let's go ahead and understand this here. A delivery driver shift is 8 hours long. Okay, I'm going to highlight that. 8-hour shift. He spends this much time on the first route, and then this much time on the second route. How much time remains in the shift? Okay, so to me, everyone, it sounds like we're going to take the 8-hour shift and we are going to subtract these two instances of time. We're going to subtract the 2 hours and 45 minutes. And we're also going to subtract the 3 hours and 30 minutes. Everyone, would you agree with that before I continue? Would you agree with the idea that, hey, look, because we're trying to find how much time remains on the shift, we're just trying to go ahead and take away the amount of time that we spent here and the amount of time that we spent there from the original 8 hours. Yeah, that's what we want to do. So we're going to take the time away. So here's the cool thing about this, my friends. When it comes to subtracting time, you have a couple of different options. You can go ahead and subtract the 2 hours and 45 minutes first, and then move forward to subtracting the 3 hours and 30 minutes. You can absolutely do that. Another option, subtract the 2 hours, subtract the 3 hours, and then subtract the minutes that are remaining with some mental math. Again, entirely up to you. Here's what I'm going to personally do. Personally, I am going to subtract the hours and then subtract the minutes one by one because that's a much better way of performing mental math. Here's what I mean, everyone. Let's take the 8 hours, let's subtract 2, and let's subtract 3. Everyone, if we subtract 2 hours and then 3 hours from 8 hours, how many hours do we have left? 8 minus 2, that's going to be 6. 6 minus 3, that's going to be a remainder of 3 hours. So let me write that down here. We have 3 hours, and we still have to subtract the 45 minutes that we didn't subtract yet, and the 30 minutes that we didn't subtract yet either. Everyone, using your knowledge of time, 3 hours minus 45 minutes, what does that leave us at? If I do 3 hours minus 2 hours and 45 minutes, that leaves us at 2 hours and what? How many minutes do you have left until you get to that full hour? Yeah, 15 minutes. So we have 2 hours and 15 minutes left. And now you just have one more subtraction to do. Remember, everyone, this is going on in my head. I chose to subtract the 2 hours and 3 hours. Boom. Then I chose to subtract the 45 minutes. Boom. And now I'll finish by subtracting the 30 minutes. So here, remember that 30 minutes is just 15 twice. So everyone, if I take away 15 minutes twice, that's going to be boom, gone, cancels out. And then 2 hours minus 15 minutes. What does that leave us with? Correct. 1 hour and 45 minutes. There we are. Our answer here for this question is going to be answer choice A. And remember that the reason we were able to succeed in this problem were two things. One, we understood the context. We understood that to find the remaining time, we subtracted. And then number two, we chose to use some mental math here, which you can do by hand. Either way is fine. But we were able to calculate one by one. And there we are, my party people. That's why the correct answer here is A. All right, let's tackle this new question here, my party people, and it begins with the end. We're going to begin at the end here where it says, how many square feet of pavers are needed? All right, so immediately, you may not think anything of it. Most people here will just focus on the word how many feet, but it's actually not going to be what you want to focus on. You want to focus on two words here, and it's going to be square feet. My party people who have been to classes like this before, when we mention square units, square feet, square centimeters, square miles, square kilometers. We are talking about area. That's what it is. So here what we're talking about, how much area of pavement or pavers are needed. Before we continue, everybody who's watching, even if you're frantically taking notes, does that make sense? Again, they say square feet, and what we are being told to find via square feet is the area, and specifically how much area for the pavers. So let's now take a look at the information and see how we're going to get the area, but specifically, be careful, only for the pavers. Here we go. A rectangular patio is 18 feet by 14 feet. So let's draw that out here. Here's my rectangular patio. Booyah right there. So I have 18 feet by 14 feet. Perfecto. And then what I am going to do here, it says, but a 10 by 6 foot section is reserved for a fire pit and will not be paved. Okay, everybody, so if the fire pit is not supposed to be paved, so let's draw the fire pit right over here. If we have our fire pit right here in the middle and it's not supposed to be paved, are we going to include the area of the fire pit? Are we supposed to include that area of the fire pit? No. No. For the fire pit, let's just write this here. Here's the fire pit. We will not include. Do not include. Again, the reason, sorry for that overflow, anybody with OCD, I apologize, but specifically it's mentioned right here. The fire pit will not be paved. So what I want to do then is I only want this area here. This is all I want. I do not want that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to find the area of my patio, which is 14 times 18, and then I'm going to subtract the fire pit. That's the big game plan. Find the big area and take out what we don't need, which is the fire pit's area. So let's go ahead and do that. I'm going to move everything over here ever so slightly, perhaps make things a little smaller. And now let's get to work. The area of the patio is going to be 18 times 14. We can go ahead and try to do that in our heads. 180 plus, what is that going to be, 72? So it's going to be 252 if I have that correct in my head. But I'll go ahead and just double check just in case. 18 times 14. 8 times 4 is 32. Then 1 times 4 is 4, carry the 3 is 7. Next up, we have 8 times 1, 1 times 8, add these together, and then we have 2, 15, and 2. So yes, 252 was it. So we have 252 for the area of the patio. And now that was step 1, so now we'll do step 2, and we'll find the area of the fire pit. Because once we have the area of the fire pit, subtract it. We'll take it away because it's not supposed to be included. So the area of the pit is going to be 10 times 6, which is going to be pretty straightforward, just going to be 60. And now the last thing we need to do here is subtract. Don't get confused, don't get tricked. Yeah, we see 252 right there, but no, we are not done because we wanted to take the difference of the areas, and that's going to be step 3. 252 minus 60 gives us 192 square feet. And that's what makes the correct answer here. Answer choice D. And there we go. Bingo. All good.